Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time for the nation's sharpest opinion. Big story today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the first successful flight test of the Agni 5 missile. Ladies and gentlemen, this beauty is Bharat's most lethal missile. It's an ICBM. The Agni 5 is equipped with multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle technology, or the very high-end, very sophisticated MIRV technology. And let me explain to you what that means. This is our most lethal weapon because it is capable of carrying multiple warheads, and each of the warheads have the ability to launch targeted precision strikes on separate locations on any country's soil. The technology deployed is far more advanced than the traditional ballistic missiles, which can only carry a single warhead. This is generally believed globally now to be one of the most lethal warheads. And with this indigenous achievement, Bharat and DRDO have entered an elite and very select club of nations and organizations who have successfully developed these advanced missile systems. The US, France, Britain, Russia, and China are among the few who have done it. Now, while there is no official range ascribed to it, the capability is said to have a range of about 5,000 kilometers, which means that the Agni 5 can bring almost all of Asia in its striking range, including the northern belts of China. And it is a matter of huge pride, ladies and gentlemen, that we have achieved it on our own, indigenously, on our own. And I have always said, as we move to a 5 and 10 trillion economy with the highest growth rates in the world, we must have a very, very strong lethal military capability, matching or more than China. Look at the strategic capability that this adds to the prowess of our sophisticated defense systems. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a new level of preparedness that India has for a new kind of warfare which we are preparing for. Because the technology which is being used in the Agni 5 is for the preparedness of striking multiple targets at once, exactly in consonance with what we saw in December when we tested the same system on the Akash missile. What are we doing here, viewers? We as a country are increasing many-fold our strategic depth, our geopolitical depth, our military and defense capability, our offensive and defensive positions. There is a thought-out pattern to what is going on, ladies and gentlemen. There is a loaded strategic preparedness in the works. That is what it is telling me. The Agni 5 not only arms us, the Agni 5 complicates it for our enemies. Because this missile can penetrate ballistic missile defenses through acts of deceit, through high-speed entry and re-entry and simultaneous strikes, which means that the entire threat matrix in any situation can be conquered, whether the enemy is singular or multiple. You can have multiple targets, multiple geographies. The multiple warheads capability is also a solid siren and a warning to China and Pakistan in any situation, in any era of time, that if they even think of joining hands against Bharat, with the Agni 5 in our fold, China's missiles, which are capable of carrying the MIRV warheads, have an equal and more lethal counter, and Pakistan won't even dare, ladies and gentlemen. That's my view. That's my view. Decisive political leadership, ensuring that Bharat achieves all that it is capable of, and building the defense capability to obliterate anyone and anything that dares to infringe upon our interests. The Agni 5 is another example of that. Let's debate.
India has announced the successful testing of Agni 5 missile, capable of carrying multiple warheads meant to hit multiple targets simultaneously. The success of mission Divyastra was announced by Prime Minister Modi. This latest variant of Agni missile is equipped with multiple independently targetable re-entry or MIRV technology, first developed at least 5 decades ago but only in possession of a handful of countries. The deployment of MIRV can enhance first strike proficiency for strategic forces. It provides greater target damage for a given thermonuclear weapon payload. The Agni 5's trajectory showcases its sophisticated design as it maneuvers towards its target with precision even after reaching the peak of its trajectory. With the range extending across Asia, Europe and parts of Africa, the indigenously developed missile bolsters India's strategic capabilities. India has joined an elite league of nations, possessing intercontinental ballistic missile capabilities, including the US, Russia, China, France and Britain. Tonight, PM Modi has sent a strong message to Pakistan. It can no more mess with India. Let's debate.
Viewers, I have Faraz Saeed from Islamabad, G.D. Bakshi, and Andrew K.P. Liu. Faraz and G.D., Faraz, I want to start with you. The Agni 5 is a MIRV Reentry vehicle capable ballistic missile, independently targetable, which means that you can carry up to 10 nuclear warheads. I hope you understand what it means, Faraz. Up to 10 nuclear warheads with various targets, range of 5,000 kilometers, right? And another thing, Faraz, I'll tell you, at our choice, if we want all the 10 to target a single location also, we can. Which means, as G.D. Bakshi will kindly explain to you, one strike, complete destruction, right? It serves the purpose of a cluster munition of a different level. I hope you're ingesting it.
I mean,
I hope you're ingesting it.
I mean, what's the question here? I mean, it is worth appreciating that there has been a breakthrough.
Question is,
There has been a breakthrough.
yes. Go on.
No, I'm waiting for the question.
I'm just trying to test your response. That's all.
No, I'm waiting for the question.
I'm just trying to test your response to what I said.
I mean, my first response would be, I mean, it's appreciative of this major breakthrough that the Indians have made in advancing their nuclear program. But I would also want to respond with a few facts of the same. Pakistan last year changed and overhauled its nuclear doctrine and introduced this zero-meter concept. And global experts were concerned about it because Pakistan decided to use nuclear weapons right after any threat from any neighboring country. Now, Pakistan has changed its nuclear threshold as well. Secondly, Pakistan has also developed battlefield nuclear weapons, largely called tactical nuclear weapons, where those tactical nuclear weapons could be deployed to counter any attacking battalion, which will wipe out the entire attacking army. So, I mean, it's appreciative that such weaponry system has been tested and launched by the Indians, but testing it to somehow threaten Pakistan's or somehow testing Pakistan's nuclear threshold, I think would not be right, because again, both countries are prepared well, and nobody should be threatened, because again, Pakistan has already launched or prepared.
No, I don't understand. I'm telling you, Faraz. I'm telling you, Faraz, most kindly, that people in Pakistan must understand what we have in our hands, what kind of technology we have, what kind of an economy we are, what kind of a navy we have, and the kind of technology that we have in terms of targeted strikes. Gaurav, General Bakshi can tell you more. You are in denial. You don't want to listen to the reality. I don't want to tell you rude things like we can bomb you out of the face of the earth overnight, but we can. And this nuclear threat, we'll also strike you back, won't work. You will be in no position. That's General Bakshi. I'm telling you in simple English. Globally, we have the most lethal missile technology now.
Arnab.
That is what I'm trying to tell you.
No, Arnab,
General
it's
Bakshi.
not. I
Yes.
should also remind you that in 2022, just 2 years ago, India failed to control its BrahMos missile that
Excuse me.
accidentally landed in Pakistan. And even United Nations raised concern about the handling of this advanced technology, advanced missile technology.
Maybe it was to scare
and
you.
Raised questions in command and
Maybe it
control
was to
systems.
scare you.
My friend, may I interject?
It was an embarrassment. It was a
Maybe
global
it was to
embarrassment.
scare you.
My friend, may I just
It was a
interject?
global embarrassment for India.
Look, all right, forget about embarrassment. Today we've had a major success, and in the game of strategic deterrence, this marks a significant milestone in South Asia and in this part of the globe. Arnab, with this, we have our Agni 5 intercontinental ballistic missile with MIRV capabilities. That means it is now capable of even defeating anti-ballistic missile systems that may be fielded by any of our adversaries. You know, Pakistan doesn't have them, China has, and we are able now to penetrate even an anti-ballistic missile shield because each missile can deliver multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. 2 to 10 is the number that could be carried by the Agni 5 intercontinental ballistic missile. As you very rightly pointed out, it gives us the cluster munition effect. We can target a number of targets, or we can hit one particular target from a number of diverse directions. We can totally, zonk the defenses. And this is a significant game. You know, the United States, the UK, France, they have MIRVed independently targetable vehicles for their submarine-launched ballistic missiles. China has MIRV missiles on their ICBMs. Russia has both on its submarine and ICBM-launched ballistic missiles. It has the MIRV capability. India has now demonstrated the MIRV capability on its intercontinental ballistic missile. So I do think it goes a long way to enhancing deterrence. Deterrence is a mind game. And may I point out to my Pakistani interlocutor that, telling us that you have tactical nukes of, sub-kiloton range, as your minister hilariously was telling us, 2 pav ke, 1.5 pav ke bomb. It's good for the laughs, it is good for a comical break, humorous break, but I'm afraid they don't deter anyone. This one does. Anybody who has the sense, yeah.
But General Bakshi, isn't it words against words?
Hello.
Because again, you threatening with Agni 5, I would threaten back with Ababil missile, which is also more or less the same technology. It carries multiple warheads and it can attack multiple targets at the same time. And Pakistan tested those the Ababil weapon just last.
That's
in
not
2023.
factually correct. Pakistan has not achieved MIRV capability as yet, so you must stick by the facts. The facts are known to everyone, and we do not expect you to display ignorance on such basic facts of deterrence. That could be dangerous because you'll miscalculate.
Why is Andrew KP
very
Leung
badly.
so serious? Why is Andrew KP Leung so serious? China's economic rates are falling. It's a done deal. The MIRV technology. India is going to be a member of the UN Security Council. Our economy is growing much faster than you. And it is an indigenously built missile, right? We can put it on our submarine-launched ballistic missiles like UK, US, and France do. You, China, have MIRV'd on an ICBM, and you used to say that this gives you an edge. Now, Andrew, this edge is gone. China has no edge. China has no edge. And rapidly, right, this whole strategic situation is being balanced out. So how do you view this? And by the way, you need to understand, Andrew, as an analyst, We have the National Cybersecurity, the Defense Cybersecurity Group. We have the K9 Vajra, the Tejas fighter jet, the BrahMos supersonic missile, right? We're very advanced in terms of our defense preparedness. So how do you view it? Andrew, how do you view it?
First of all, I mean, as your just reported at the beginning of this show, there is an elite club of countries, including China, who have already possessed these capabilities, the MIRV. And of course, China's MIRV missiles are much more powerful because it has already been there for quite some time. And then, according to your reportage, the missile which has just been developed in India is only 1.75 meters, so it's quite small. And if you look at the missile possessed by the elite club of countries, they're much larger and more powerful. Now, of course, this is India to be congratulated for achieving this breakthrough, but I don't think that this is something that India should beat its chest about. Of course, it is gaining some sort of strategic defense advantage, vis-a-vis perhaps Pakistan, but I don't think that it would upset the balance entirely with China. The second point I'd like to make is, of course, India is not China's enemy. China has never wanted to make India its enemy. And the biggest threat for China is not India, it's the United States. So I think that this playing up the China angle is misplaced, in my view. And there are lots of things that China and India cooperate. But I think that firstly, this is not a major game changer vis-a-vis the military balance between India and China, even though that is an improvement. But as I said, this is only the beginning. It's a very small weapon, only 1.7 meters long. But nevertheless, it is an important breakthrough. And I would congratulate India on that. But I don't think that Beijing is worried. But as far as China's economy is concerned, there are still lots of strengths in spite of the economic downturn and the headwinds. And China has been growing at 5.2% last year. And even according to the latest estimate, 5% is highly respectable for the second largest economy in the world. Well, what is the growth rate of the United States last year and this year? It's never approaching anything like 5%. So for the large
I never thought it would come to this. I never thought that your growth rates would fall so much, Andrew. I never thought your growth rates would fall so much that you would come on my program one day and compare yourself to slow-growing countries or non-growing countries like the United States and the UK. But look at you, you are having to do that. You are having to say that a growth rate of 4% is very good. Your growth rate has come down by 50%. You do not have unique technology. You do not have unique defense systems. You do not have uniqueness in a blue water navy. The biggest wargaming expert in the country is General G.D. Bakshi. He can tell you. And these are very concrete steps. We've caught up in a very big way. You will have to recognize it. You can say, okay, don't get too excited about it. That's not the point. But General Bakshi will put it in perspective for you. It's about how quickly we've caught up. You must acknowledge that.
Can I come back?
And the determination with which we've caught up.
Arnab.
The determination, most importantly, the determination with which
Arnab,
we've caught up.
I'd just like to point out to Andrews, Arnab, if I may, I'd just like to point out to my good colleague Andrews that we are not doing chest thumping. This is all about deterrence. This is all about trying to safeguard our country by deterring any hostile adventurism, especially in the nuclear field. You see, in India, we find it hard to forget that it is China which gave to Pakistan the fissile material for the first 4 bombs. In fact, the first Pakistani bomb was tested at Lop Nor in Xinjiang. And then we have seen how they have given a whole range of short-range ballistic missiles and then IRBMs. And when the Americans put sanctions on certain Chinese companies, the Chinese, put Pakistan in touch with North Korea to get the Nodong and Taipodong, etc. So these are not friendly acts, Andrews. No country goes around arming another country which has fought 4 wars with its neighbor, because that by itself is a hostile act. And unfortunately, we find that there is a predilection in China to interfere in our neighborhood, to try and provoke Maldives into adopting anti-India stances or attitudes.
And Andrew,
If I may, Andrew, ports in Pakistan.
Andrew. No. General Bakshi, with your permission, I want to point to Andrew. And Dr. Saeed Elahi can respond. Andrew,
please.
You cannot give anything technological to a Pakistani. First of all, they don't have technology. They can't afford technology. They can't use technology. Last time, Dr. Saeed Elahi, it was so embarrassing that you tested the Shaheen 3 missile, and the Shaheen 3 missile landed 20 kilometers away, attacking a nuclear facility in Dera Ghazi Khan in Punjab, which means you tested a missile and it landed on your own nuclear facility. Am I right or wrong? You are smiling, Andrew, but this is how incompetent the Pakistanis are. They launched a missile and the missile landed on their own nuclear base.
Mr. Arnab, I think...
No, this is a reported fact.
Mr. Arnab,
Dr. Saeed Elahi, tell me one thing. Dr. Saeed Elahi, is this true or not?
And Pakistani missile technology...
How can I quote a wrong incident that never happened? Did you test the Shaheen 3? One minute, sir. Your DG... One minute. Your Mazar Shirani confirmed. And it was confirmed that the surface-to-surface Shaheen 3 had misfired and landed on a Pakistani nuclear facility.
No,
the
sir,
Pakistani army stopped all internet, restricted media access. Sir, you landed a missile on your own nuclear facility.
And Ghori missiles are the best missiles with more accuracy and best speed, which is much better than Indian missiles.
There may be good missiles, but you landed it on your nuclear facility.
To have a better technology in missiles. And as you were asking about Chinese, you are taking Russian technology. So same is with Pakistan, which are having Chinese technology or even European technology in missiles. So Pakistani missiles, by the way...
Okay, so you are saying we have Chinese technology. See, General Bakshi admitted it.
Much better than Indian technology, and Indian
we are
not as accurate,
sir, please understand.
As PD as Pakistani missiles are. And I think at this occasion, Mr. Modi...
You are very accurate. Your missile landed on your nuclear facility. Why did your Shaheen 3 land on your nuclear facility?
No, sir.
Faraz, tell me, Faraz and Saeed Elahi, why did your Shaheen 3 land on your nuclear facility? It was reported everywhere in the Pakistani media.
So as a political stand before elections, this is number one. Number two is that Pakistani missile technology is still more accurate and fast than Indian missiles.
Everything is elections. We've gone to the moon because of the elections. We've become the world's fastest growing economy because of that. We are going to become a 5 trillion economy because of the elections. We hammer you in Balakot because of the elections.
So
everything for you is because of the elections.
Even the Balakot retaliation was very good, at what happened.
Yeah, I know very well. You were shaking in your knees. In your assembly, you said they are going to attack us.
2 planes were downed. Your pilot was arrested.
Why don't you understand this? Why don't you, Faraz,
and even Pakistani,
General Bakshi, see, Those days are
Aeroplanes
gone.
were flying in
Those
Indian
days are gone.
areas
Those days
and
are
they could
gone.
hit-
I am
They could hit the
Dr.
brigade
Saeed Elai.
office
Dr.
in
Saeed
Kashmir.
Elai. Dr. Saeed Elai. Dr.
Yes, sir.
Saeed Elai. Listen to me. Listen to me. General Bakshi is there. Listen to me. I'll say one thing. This missile, I don't want to scare you. I don't want to scare you, but tell Pakistanis that this missile moves
Sir, we
at the
know very
speed
well what it is, and
24
we
times
have
the
good
speed of
arrangements
sound.
to retaliate. Don't worry.
It moves 8.16 kilometer per second. It moves at 29,401 kilometers per hour. It will reach Lahore. It will reach Lahore in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Just
In a
tell him,
similar
General
pattern-
Bakshi, why don't you tell him? General
Reach
Bakshi, just
Bombay in
educate him,
minutes.
please. He has to understand.
Lahore in a similar pattern. I'm
You
sure it
know,
will reach Lahore in a similar pattern. The way
You're not practicing.
missiles can
BrahMos
hit
missile
Bombay
failed in
even
2022
in minutes.
and landed in Pakistan.
So don't
Only
forget-
that's how it's going to land in Pakistan. I
And
mean,
he's
why are we
very-
saber rattling? It's good that the Indian missile system has achieved, an Indian missile program has
I'm not
achieved.
saber rattling.
Understand one thing.
It has achieved.
No. Let me reiterate. Kindly understand one thing. We are not, repeat, not saber rattling. We are giving you very calm and considered facts that you must put into your calculus before you get unduly adventurous. The simple fact
Sir, you
is
should also
Pakistan
remember
has been trying
and forget
to
about
lower
any adventure.
the nuclear threat. Can I please finish? I love to listen to you.
Okay, thank you.
I'd love to listen to you, but let me just put across my point. Pakistan has been trying to lower the nuclear threshold by going in for sub-kiloton weapons of very low yield designed to stop some infantry battalion or an infantry company crossing your canal or ditch cum bun, right? This increases the chances of accidental nuclear war and uncontrolled escalation. India's point has been very simple. We do not recognize any gradations in the threshold of nuclear weapons that you have used. Any crossing of the threshold means India will react with its full might. There will be no tit for tat, little bomblets flying across the border, then we responding with little bomblets. We are not going in for little bomblets. We are going in for the mother of all bombs, which can wipe you out. Please understand that. And the next time you think of threatening us with nuclear fire and brimstone, please bear in mind that you will cease to exist. Your little dead pav, do pav ke bombs will do nothing to
Andrew,
a country 5 times your
sir, I
size,
think you are
5
mistaken.
times your
Andrew, this is-
size
You have
land
done
area,
retaliate.
where it will
No,
be
we
absolutely
don't wish
ineffectual.
to.
To balance Indian
But a
attacks,
couple of
and we can
Agnis
hit
will
any
finish
city
you
of
forever.
India in minutes.
Therefore, don't even think about
This is just
it.
You can't
General
balance.
General Bakshi,
Balancing is
Pakistan
over.
is capable of hitting
There is no
any Indian
balancing
city
now. Saeed
in
Elai,
minutes.
Saeed Elai, Saeed Elai, Saeed Elai and Faraz, I'll
Sir,
tell you
this
one
is
thing. Saeed Elai
Sir,
and
he is
Faraz,
talking-
Saeed Elai and
he is
Faraz,
talking
as your
against
well-wisher, as your well-wisher,
General Sir,
Faraz,
talking against
you are,
facts.
as your well-wisher,
If you're talking
as
about
your
one
well-wisher,
missile, we have enough
you
missiles
should stop
to hit
even
you back
dreaming of ever
and
comparing
destroy
with
all
India.
the Indian
That is
cities
in your
anytime,
interest.
MIRV
anywhere.
capability long
That
before
is in
you
your
could test
interest.
RP-5. We
Sir,
achieved
this is also your
MIRV
interest.
capability long
Not
before you
to
tested
threaten
RP-5.
Pakistan
We did that
with
in
any missiles.
2017. We did that
We
in
are
2023.
powerful enough to
It's your
retaliate
time.
and to hit your
Celebrate
cities
it.
and installations anytime, anywhere.
Andrew, don't push the Pakistanis into a corner. You are not going to help them. When we hammered them after Balakot, you didn't do anything because you can't.
We have
Don't
joint
make them
ventures,
feel a
joint
false sense of
defense.
security, which you're not a security blanket for them. You are not a security blanket for them. There's too much economic ties
They are our
between India
friends,
and
sir.
China. You must tell the Pakistanis that they are on their own. Don't fool them, Andrew. Don't fool them.
I think you are
Just
fooling,
don't fool them. Like you
fooling
fooled Sri
everybody.
Lanka, you fooled Nepal, you fooled Bangladesh.
Chinese are great
Don't fool them.
friends and tested
You
friends.
fooled so many African countries, all in a debt trap now.
China is the best
wants to
friend
be
of Pakistan,
friends
sir.
to all its neighbors. Both India and Pakistan are China's partners. I don't think that China wants to make an enemy of India, as I said. But of course, China, Pakistan very close together economically, and because China's Belt and Road passes through Pakistan, and also Pakistan, of course, borders on China,
No, Andrew.
and helps with China's security. So I think that both China and Pakistan have a great deal of interest in common. But likewise,
Andrew,
both
you know
China and
India's
India
no,
are
Andrew.
enemies. Either.
Andrew, you know India's strategic defense arsenal. You know, you're a strategic thinker. You know the extent to which India's strategic defense arsenal has gone. Privately, you can tell the Pakistanis what you think. I understand your compulsions on air. Ladies and gentlemen, when I come back, what do the electoral bonds comments of the Supreme Court mean for the data we will see out tomorrow in just 30 seconds?